The situation in Italy is a very peculiar one. As the Marxist tendency has said many times, Italy is a sick man of Europe, was hit very hard by the process of the European Union and the euro currency, and was hit very hard by the crisis that follows. The turning point in the situation in Italy for the left wing and also for our tendency were the election of April 13, 14 of this year, of last year, 2008. Where the election, where the right wing got a clear victory, and where the left wing, for the first time in the Italian history, apart from fascist times, were not present, were not allowed, were not elected to the Italian Parliament. It was since the 1882 where Italy has not a socialist or a communist MPs. This provoked a severe crisis amongst the left, and one of the first effects was the Congress of the party, an extraordinary Congress of the party called in July of last year, to sort out the situation and to decide what to do after this watershed of the electoral defeat. An electoral defeat does not come from blue sky. It comes from the participation of the Rifondazione Comunista and also the other parties of the left wing inside the Prodi government. The government of Romano Prodi was a government of a class coalition who put forward, who implement a bourgeois policy, a policy of cuts, a policy of privatization, and so on. The left wing was totally involved in this, was clearly seen as one of the main actors of the government. And that's why it was severely punished in the election. And this provoked a big discussion in the Rifondazione Comunista, where a faction headed by Bertinotti, a famous leader who was a secretary for a number of years between the 90s and the beginning of this new century, openly stood for the liquidation of the party. They say we lost because communism is not relevant anymore, and we need to form a new party of the left. This was at the end the implementation of right-wing policy, and put the right-wing policy of the party put forward in throughout of this year to the end. This provoked a big debate and the formation of a new tendency in the party, headed by the former Minister of Labor, of Welfare in the Prodi government, Ferrero, who say no to this liquidation of the party, and form a motion, wrote a document for the Congress. We, as Marxists, stand at this Congress and receive 1,000, with our document, 1,400 votes, 3.2% of the total of the votes casted in the Congress. At the National Congress, there was a peculiar situation. A situation where the right wing, the liquidators, got 47% of the vote. They wished to win the Congress, but they didn't manage. And there was the opportunity to form a new majority of the party, a majority of the party who stated clearly that we don't want the Rifondazione Comunista to be dissolved, okay, and that we want a turn to the left in the policy of Rifondazione Comunista. This was an opportunity that we seized, and we were determinant on this, with our percentage, with our cadres, and with our forces. It was a cry who came from the rank and file. The fact to save Rifondazione Comunista put the party on a different basis to regain the tradition, the struggle tradition that once belonged to the communist organizations. So the Congress took place in July in Chianciano, a town in center of Italy, completely changed every bet, completely overturned every bet that was made, and this new majority of the party, where the first time the Marxists were in, was formed. The document voted this Congress said we a turn to the left, and this was clearly seen by the comrades in Rifondazione Comunista. We think that this event, this development in Rifondazione Comunista, doesn't come from nothing, but was a reflection of a radicalization of a vanguard of the working class. And we were vindicated in this prevision when, in September, October of this year, at the beginning of the new political year, the students and the workers reacted in an excellent way to the provocation of the Berlusconi government. The new Berlusconi government, the third Berlusconi government, is a very right-wing government, which openly put forward racist and neo-fascist ideas against the immigrant, against the workers, against the women's rights, against the welfare state. They want really to cancel, after they think they have cancelled the left wing, they want to cancel the trade union and to totally put them together with the state, with no differences between what the government, what the bosses say, and what the trade union says. This was one aim of the government. At the same time, the government wants to implement a counter-reform of the education system, both school and university, that completely destroyed and also complete the process, put to the end the process of privatization of the school and university that was implemented throughout the last years. To this, the students that were passive for a number of years in the last 5 or 6 years reacted in a manner that we did not see in the last 20-25 years.